In Ghana, most of the healthcare is provided by the government and is largely administered by the Ministry of Health and Ghana Health Services. The healthcare system has 5 levels of providers. So you have your health posts, you have health centers and clinics, then you have district hospitals, regional hospitals, and tertiary hospitals. Health posts are the first level of primary care for rural areas. The different levels of health providers are funded by the government of Ghana, financial credit, internally generated funds, and donors' pooled health fund. Hospitals and clinics run by Christian Health Association of Ghana also provide healthcare services. There are 200 hospitals in Ghana. Some for-profit clinics do exist, but they provide a very minimal portion of the healthcare. Only 2% of healthcare services are provided through for-profit clinics. When I dealt with the healthcare system in April of 2024, this is what I had to do. I had to get a card. So my details were taken. I needed a Ghana card. My details were taken. Even if you didn't have a Ghana card, you still need to be registered to see a particular clinic or hospital. And so they charge 15 cedis for the card. Then you need to pay a consultation fee in order to see a doctor and assess what you actually need done. And so the consultation fee was at that time 30 cedis. Now, the consultation fee does not include any tests that you have to do. You know, if you have to do a blood test or if you have to do any kind of antibody-based tests or antigen-based tests, you pay that in addition. I had to do a comprehensive health check. And so for that, I had to pay actually 500 cedis, my iron levels to get, just comprehensive tests that costed 500 cedis. This cost could have presumably been cheaper if I had an insurance. So you can also go and get your insurance card. And I believe that costs you to get the card. I think it might be 5 cedis also. So you have to go to an health insurance office. Most regions would have them and get yourself registered. And if you are under 5, you can, once you're insured, you can use it straight away. There's no waiting period. But if you are between 6 and 69, there is a waiting period of 1 month. If you are over 69, then you also don't have to wait. You can use your healthcare card, your insurance straight away. The insurance allows you to get your bloods done, like the laboratory tests in theory, to be free. So in addition to the 500 cedis for all those tests, I also had to pay for the blood tests. I had to pay another 150 cedis. And people that had insurance who presumed that they would get it for free also had to pay 60 cedis. And I could hear some people mumbling about that, like, why do we have insurance if we still have to pay? So technically, from the way it was described to me, the people with insurance should then be able to have their pathology tests done for free. And then medication should also, those that are on a subsidized list should be cheaper or free. But then if it's not, then you just pay the difference. But people like me who didn't have the insurance yet will then pay upfront full price for everything. So the insurance kind of just lets you have things at a reduced rate. So I went to a district center, and so they had dental, they had eye care, they had the laboratory on site, so they were able to do the blood test the same day for me. I had to go somewhere else to get an x-ray, and that was like a Christian run, it was a Catholic run hospital, but it's still recognized under the government system. So it was still considered a government hospital, and I was able to engage with that service. I had to pay in addition for the x-rays as well. So they got us to register when we got there and then worked out how much we had to pay. And I think we paid about 80 or so cedis for the x-rays. So after engaging with the system, I see that if you're used to being in the West where everything is provided for you by the healthcare center, you will be very uncomfortable initially, because I noticed, like, even when I went to the toilet, for instance, there was no toilet paper. So make sure you carry bucket loads of tissue, toilet paper with you. You will need to, if you can, the swab that the guy was using, he had like this bottle that he was using to swab my arm before he took the blood. I was a little bit uncomfortable. I felt like he didn't have much of that left, like it was finished, and it was just more like for sure. So if you can, take your own iodine swabs or something, just for your own safety and comfortableness. So next time I would definitely take these things with me, just to say, hey, I brought my own swab, just use it on my arm, it's all good. The soap dispensers rarely actually have soap. So I would say always have a sanitizer with you. Take some soap with you so you can wash your hands afterwards. Take your own mask. It won't be provided. You should also take a Band-Aid, because I know after he finished the blood test, I kind of have to hold. I had to hold the cotton swab, the cotton lump on my on the spot to stem the blood. And he used quite a large needle, so I had a lot of blood kind of coming out. So I needed to hold it there for a while. And if I had known, I would have taken some Band-Aids just to whack it on and then move around from one side to the next. So yeah, I don't know if you can even take your own finer needle if you're very sensitive or something. You don't want them to use a big needle, because he was taking the blood from this child who was screaming. And I noticed they use like 1 gauge needle for everyone. So things like that, just for your own comfort levels, just be aware, take things yourself to make sure you're comfortable, because I think there's not a lot of funding, so it's just a little bit tight. And if you're not aware and you just show up, you may be uncomfortable, and then you may have a negative experience. But I think if you know ahead of time, and you take your own swabs, you take a needle, if you have to take some blood tests, take some tissues, take things to make you comfortable. Take a little bag and just stuff, first aid stuff in there. I think then you will feel safe and feel comfortable. Okay, so I hope this is helpful. I certainly wanted a video like this a long time ago, and there wasn't anything on it online. So I hope this is helpful. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next video. Give us a thumbs up if it helped, and come along as we explore more of the services in Ghana and facilities in Ghana.